What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about this is American Crime Story, the assassination of Gianni Versace, season finale. Alright, y'all, this episode was really good. Like, I really enjoyed this episode. They wrapped up everything. They gave us what we needed. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we start off the show back at the beginning. It's the day of the crime, but this time it's from Andrew's perspective. You remember the last time it was from Gianni's perspective. So Andrew is sitting on the beach. He's watching the, the doves above him, and then he gets up. He's walking through the beach. He walks right by a police officer, and he walks to Gianni's front door. He sees him walking up. He calls his name. Gianni turns around. He shoots him. And he also shoots a dove. In real life, Gianni did not turn around. He was shot in the back of the head. After that, he breaks into a houseboat and he pops some champagne. Now, the news it's all over the news about Gianni's murder. And as soon as they describe his head exploding or something like that, the champagne pops and he bursts out into this weird laughter. You know, he's like really ecstatic and excited about the fact that he's killed Gianni Versace. Now, he's popular like he always has wanted to be. It's interesting how Andrew goes through a range of emotions on this show. He goes through ecstatic to like, oh my god, like I'm in shock, what did I do, to oh shit, what did I do, to I'm trapped, to I'm sad, to I'm depressed. So the actors range on this show was amazing. I just thought that was interesting how they took us through several different emotions. So right now he's excited. He wanted to be, he wanted to be famous, and now this is what he wants. So he goes up to the balcony, he wraps himself in a silk scarf, and he lays out and he drinks champagne, honey. He's just happy as a clam. So Lee Miglin's wife is contacted by the FBI and told that the person who is the prime suspect in Gianni's murder is the one who is the same as in Lee's murder. And so she's like, well, what the hell y'all been doing for the past 2 months? This person been around here killing all these people. How many people have to die before y'all decide to do your job? Then she said she ain't going no damn where, get all the security they need to get, because she's never been to broadcast in her life and she's not about to start. So I was like, girl, you better tell us what you're not about to do, girl. Yes. So the police then bring in Ronnie. You remember Ronnie? Ronnie is the drug addict friend that was friends with Andrew. They was real tight. So they bring Ronnie down to the police station and he gets up in there and he's basically like, he was partying. Andrew wasn't hiding. Andrew was partying. Why wasn't y'all looking hard enough? Is hard enough? Was it because he was killing nobody gays, and now that he's killed Versace, who was like a big time gay, now y'all all on the case or whatever? Child, he wasn't not trying to be. He says that he wasn't trying to be, or he wasn't hiding. He was trying to be seen. So he gives us like the little thesis for the whole show, pretty much. In the meantime, Andrew is following this woman, and he steals her purse and he steals her car, and he tries to leave the city of Miami, but there are police checkpoints everywhere. He can't get out of the city, and so he goes to like the side of the bridge. He throws the keys in the water and he screams out because now he realizes that he's trapped. He can't get out of the city. He's famous. He got what he wanted, and had he left the city after he first killed him 2 months before that, he probably could have got out of the city, but now he's trapped in the city. So he goes back to the houseboat. So Andrew is starving at this point. He doesn't have any food, and so he's sneaking around. I forgot to say earlier that he was sneaking around the dock stealing food from people, and he ends up almost getting caught by this one woman. They call the police and he's looking across, his binoculars. Now, that the police know that somebody is sneaking around there, okay? After that is when he sees Lizzie on TV, because he can't leave out anymore. Now he's really trapped. He can't leave anymore because, they know somebody poking around, and, the police have been called, and he's out of food, and he tries to eat some dog food, but he does not, but he's not able to keep it down, and he sees Lizzie on TV. She's begging and pleading for him to turn himself in. She's saying that the person that she knows is not violent, and she knows that the most important thing to him is what other people think about him. That's an important line, okay? So he should turn himself in. Right now, he's starting to feel the weight of everything that he's done. So he's getting to that oh shit, what have I done stage. So Andrew's mother is at the house and she's watching the news from under a blanket. The police come to her door and she answers the door and is basically like, have you killed my son? So starving and watching TV, Andrew finally, he's getting down the dog food that we thought he couldn't eat. Now he's just tearing that shit up like it's not nothing, okay? He's upset and he takes his last money and he goes to call his father. His father gets the phone and he tells him, Andrew, don't cry. I'm gonna come and get you. I'm gonna take you back to the Philippines where you're safe. I'll be there in 24 hours. You wait on me. I love you. I care about you and all of this here. So Andrew goes home. He packs up other people's clothes, okay, put that shit in the bag, and he's sitting waiting for his father. Y'all, at this time they're playing Someday He'll Come Along, the man I love. and he'll be big and strong. The man I love, and when he comes my way, I'll do my best to make him stay. Perfect song choice. You're waiting on the man you love. Literally, you're waiting on your father, the person that's for you, the person that ain't never damn coming, okay? I knew his daddy wasn't gonna come as soon as he said he was coming. So Andrew waits and waits. He's reading a book patiently, and the next day he's watching the news. He sees his father on the TV saying, basically, my son is never gonna get caught. He's smarter than the police. You know, he was the perfect child. I'm getting the rights, you know, I'm brokering them with movie companies in Hollywood for his story, and he really cares about it. Basically, just telling a whole bunch of damn lies on the screen. So at that moment, I felt like a little smidgen of sympathy for him, because his father is nothing but a liar and let him down over and over and over again. Okay, so he goes, grabs the gun, and he shoots the TV like 3 or 4 times. So now he realized that he's all alone. He's really alone in this world, and it's pretty much the beginning of the end. So while this is going on, Antonio is finding out that he's getting shut out by the whole family. Basically, and Donatella comes to him and says, in real life, I think Gianni left him like 50 million lira. So she says, listen, you'll get your little money or whatever, and you can stay at the house at Lake Como, but in actuality, none of these homes are owned by Gianni. They're all owned by the company, because Gianni spent too much money. Okay, they went to the funeral. They totally did not acknowledge him. The priest didn't even shake his hand or nothing. It shows you how they are horrible and cruel they were to him, and pushed him out of the family after Gianni passed away, even though they had been together for so long. Another social commentary on how gays did not have rights. If you had been with somebody for 20 years and they died, you had no rights. Nobody would acknowledge you, nothing, none of that type of situation. So Antonio is going through it on his end. And I read it, and I read in some articles that Donatella, not only did she not understand, you know, fully understand homosexuality, she also just did not like him as a person. She just didn't like him. She ain't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't really care that much for him. She says after they done with this, and after his time in Lake Como, they all need to start a new life, and she's sorry for his loss, and she walked her ass straight up out of there. I said, well, my goodness, okay? So Andrew watches the funeral on TV with everyone else. Now he has, you know, hooked up this big projector, so it's projecting on the wall, and he sings along with the choir, y'all. It was so freaky. I think at this time, like I said, he's continuing to take in the weight of what he's done and how this has affected so many people around the world and the country, okay? A property manager is alerted, you know, to something going on his property, or somebody wanting to stay there or something, and he gets up, he goes on down to the dock to look at the houseboat. When he gets down there, he realizes that somebody been squatting in there. It's pretty evident that somebody has been living in there, and Andrew comes, he goes and gets his gun, and he comes out and he shoots the gun as a warning shot. And so the guy runs out, and of course now the police have been alerted, and the police are on their way to shut shit down. So Andrew is sitting with his child self, starving and alone. Now he's very skinny. He shaves his head at this point, and he's sitting and he's watching TV, and Lee Miglin's wife is on TV, and she's talking about her perfume and telling this story about her mom and her dad and how they didn't have much, and you know, she would have wanted to give this to her mother as something her father would have given to her, and she was like, just, you know, taken in by this story, not feeling bad really for what he did to Miglin, but you could tell that he was really jealous, or felt some type of way, because we know, I mean, clearly the woman was telling a lie. This is what he do. He lies, but the only thing that he can do is bring destruction and, you know, misery to people, and she's getting rich doing what he does all the time, spinning the truth. Basically what his dad said, if I had stole $1 million, they would have been giving me a promotion. So like, it's kind of like a double meaning, or you could have took it as he was feeling remorse for the people that he hurt. I doubt it, though. He doesn't seem like that type of person. He seems more along the lines of a sociopath. But there's also another scene that, you know, they just had to let us know that Lee Miglin was a good guy, because she was like, he was paying other people bills and helping other people. He really touched people's life. I was like, but child, was he screwing their son too? Or did he make some outside babies? Child, I need to know the whole story about Lee Miglin. Why was he paying them people bills? Out the kindness of his heart, for real? Somebody from Chicago, y'all let me know. So he's sitting there watching her tell this story with his child self. And at this point, the police have surrounded. He's back watching the news. They've surrounded him. They're about to attack him. He pretty much waits till they bust into the house. Right before they come into the house, he puts the gun in his mouth. He looks in the mirror, and then he shoots himself in the head. They find his body, and that's it. You know, everybody's sad about it. Everybody's sad about the whole damn situation. So they go back to Lee Miglin's wife and tell her it's over with. No worries. God is good. She's like, good, he killed himself. Good. I don't want to talk about it no more. She don't want no more nothing about her husband gayness to be coming out. She ain't got time for that. She says it's done. Then we see Andrew and Versace at the opera that they went to attended on the first episode. And we see that, you know, their interaction was one of Andrew being more of like a Days fan. You know, he was like a really fan. He was explaining to him that he was special, and he knew he was special, and he wanted other people to know that he was special, you know, that he did great things. And GIanni Versace said, it's not about convincing other people to do great things, it's about you doing something great. It's about actually doing it. And see, that's the difference. Andrew just wanted people to think he didn't actually want to put the hard work in to be a good person, right? To be a great person. He just wants to receive the love or the accolades for being a great person, or being this fantastic person, rich person, or whatever, smart, whatever you want to call it. Andrew makes a play for him, and you know, GIanni like, listen, we kissed or whatever, but that's it. I want you to be inspired by this atmosphere, but you know, I don't want to take away from your artistic, or take away from your future and your ambition, and cheapen it basically by having sex with you. So Andrew was rejected by the one person, you know, he dreamed of meeting. So you can tell this is, I don't want to say this is the beginning of the end for him or whatever. So that was an interesting note to see. I'm glad we got to see that. Then we also see Donatella tell a story about how she ignored GIanni's call the day of his death. Had she answered that phone call and they talked on the phone, it probably would have prevented him from leaving to go get the thing, and he would have never ran into Andrew. So, you know, she feels guilty about that. After all that hard shit she be trying, you know, playing or whatever, she really does feel guilty about having that part of the death. And then we go to Antonio. He attempts to take a whole bunch of pills. He attempts suicide, and he's found by a maid later on. Now in real life, I don't know if he attempted suicide, but he definitely was depressed for a while, you know, because of everything that's going on. But he is definitely still alive, okay? And he has a new partner and all of that type of stuff. So he's good in design. He's a designer, and you know, all these. So Donatella visits GIanni's grave at the end, and it's a beautiful grave, and he has candles and his beautiful pictures. And you know, it was interesting to me when she looked up like the Medusa symbol, the Versace symbol kind of skewed her face and made her look ugly, because after this death she was sort of ugly to Antonio. And then at the same time, you know, it could be interpreted as she going into the business world. It might not be perfect, it's an ugly business, but she going into it. It kind of skewed her face for a minute, so I thought that was an interesting shot. I would like to know what the thought process was behind that particular shot, because you can tell that it was definitely some symbolism. We also see Andrew Cunanan's body in the mausoleum. He's, you know, he have his nameplate on the mausoleum, and then they start scanning down the hallway. That symbolism of that is to let you know he's just another one of 1,000 people. He's not recognized, he's not special, he's not different, he's not anything of this nature, okay? He's just another name on the wall. If you think about it, the whole series is called The Assassination of GIanni Versace, and it was mainly about Andrew Cunanan. So you still in your death have not even gotten, you know, your infamous status that you wanted or whatever. Your name not even in the title, and all the episodes is about you. They did him like he needed to be done, in my opinion, okay? Because you don't want to elevate this type of foolishness. All in all, I thought it was a really good season. I would have appreciated more of Versace, but his storyline was kind of thin. Sometimes it was looking like a real bad B-Italian movie. You see what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I don't know about that. But, and it really kind of like, we got it. GIanni Versace was a good guy. You know, he believed in certain things. He was a certain way, and they killed us with it. Like, they beat us over the head with it. But I understand what they were trying to do. The Andrew story was very good. The actor who played him was awesome. I believe he was on Glee at one point. Awesome. Totally awesome actor. I mean, he took himself through 1,000 ranges. I wonder if they made him look like he was starving, or did he actually starve himself, or they just like got bigger clothes or made him up or something. That would be interesting for me to know. I just liked watching, like I said, all the psychological stages he went through when he was in this house alone. Like, how you go from gagging on dog food, not being able to eat it, to eating the whole thing with no problem and drinking water. How do you survive, you know, like that? It just seems like if he had a different family, if he had a different way of upbringing, that he could have brought more to the world than what he did. So that's unfortunate. The whole Versace story is just sad. I mean, it's just sad that this happened to them. I mean, it's just a horrible thing that happened. So I want to hear what you guys think. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with all your friends, and I will holler at y'all next season. All right, peace.